But like I said, Florida's got a good stand your ground law, and I felt very confident. It was the law. It was 3 days. It was probably anywhere from 8 hours of testimony, and then the judge waited several months to actually give us a written order, and we lost. And I couldn't believe it. And I was confident. I felt very strong in everything because of what we just described to you. And there was some testimony that one of the eyewitnesses, who initially on scene said the car was going to effing kill my client. And that's, we thought that we had really good testimony there. But the judge said that this client's testimony, he switched it at the stand your ground to say, I think the car was going to stop, and he discharged the firearm. So it left me in a pickle. Like, what do you do when you've lost your right to a stand your ground motion? That means it's going to have to go to a jury. I started doing background on the victim. The victim had just been discharged from a mental hospital because he had probably been Baker acted for taking a machete at a gas station and threatening people. By continuously showing the state really what had happened, we had a new prosecutor on the case. I think they saw it our way. And because my client did fire a warning shot, it was a discharge of a firearm. That's how it got to a misdemeanor, and that's how we got the case resolved. So it was a lot of work. And, what we do as criminal defense attorneys, we're not all Perry Mason. We don't have, not everybody's an innocent client. We're working for people who've made mistakes. We're working for people who've done the wrong things a lot of times. This was one of those cases where I felt we have an innocent person. We have someone who is in fear of their life. They have a law that stand your ground that supports them. And we lost. But then we had the opportunity, we could have taken it to trial. I think there was a heck of a lot more risk to take that case to trial than to get a misdemeanor, which then allowed it to be later sealed.
Wow, that's interesting. How you got it changed to a misdemeanor, and then sealed completely.
Yeah.
So, in essence, it's not expunged from, or is from a practical standpoint,
So
expunged from his record. I mean, so that it's not.
sealed and expunged really work the same way. Expungement is actually the state, actually destroys the file. And so that happens with expungement. With a seal, no one else can have access to it. Of course, federal government's going to have access. There's going to be certain entities that will always have access. So, those are the considerations. But as far as I'm concerned, sealing and expungement are almost intertwinable.